Okay, and here are the solutions to the practice. So for the first one, again, rewriting in terms of sine and cos. And then what I'm doing in this step here is I'm getting a common denominator. So to get a common denominator here, I'm just multiplying the two denominators together. And then I'm thinking sine squared had to be multiplied by cos squared. So I multiply 1 by cos squared, and same idea here. And then cos squared plus sine squared, we can now add those now that they have a common denominator. And again, that's our main identity, which we know is equal to 1. And then here I can just kind of split this up. So I'm going to make this 1 over sine squared times 1 over cos squared, which again is 1 over cosecant times, sorry, 1 is cosecant squared times sec squared, which is the right-hand side. This one here is really just algebraically annoying, but again, do not distribute the cos or the sine here. Instead, we are going to use our compound angle formula. Don't forget that it's being multiplied by a cos y here and a sine y here. And then what I'm doing at this point is I'm taking this cos y and I'm distributing it in here. So cos y times this is going to be cos squared y right here. And this doesn't simplify very much, so they're all going to be listed in a row. Same idea here. I'm distributing this sine y into here and into here. And again, this is not going to become like a sine xy or anything like that because it's sine x times sine y. They're two separate numbers. But here, sine y times sine y, we can certainly simplify that to sine squared y. Then we can see that some things are going to cancel out. So that is going to cancel with that. And then we're left here. And again, we're noticing a common factor. And so we factor out and we've got a 1 and we have a cos as desired. Again, for this one, the compound angle formula. So you can see how if you try to distribute the sine, that it comes up a lot. Like you would lose a lot of marks if you kept trying to distribute a sine. So here, again, we have two compound angle formulas, and we are going to be distributing this and distributing this. So it's a really algebraic unit, as you can see. And sine x times sine x is sine squared, cos y times cos y is cos squared y. So we just distributed all of that. And luckily, again, things are going to cancel out right here and right here. Now at this point, we can see that we don't have a common factor or anything, but this is where I'm going to use the right-hand side to help me. So the right-hand side, if you're ever stuck and you're not sure what to do next, refer to the right-hand side or the other side, because here we only have cosines, which tells me that I need to get rid of these two sines. So I'm taking these two sines, and I know that from before, sine squared plus cos squared is 1. So we know that sine squared is equal to 1 minus cos squared. And so that's what I'm doing for both of these. Then once again, I'm going to distribute these. And I can see that things cancel out, and I'm left with the right-hand side. Okay, for this question, again, cosecant is 1 over sine. So cosecant of 2x is going to be 1 over sine 2x. And we only have one formula for sine 2x. We plot that in and things cancel, and we get the same thing. Now over here, we make everything in terms of sine and cos. Now we are distributing like this. And at this point, we can see that a common denominator would be really useful. Here, everything has a denominator on the right side, so we should get a common denominator here as well. So what I did was I got a common denominator for these two and a common denominator for these two. So this cos had to be multiplied by cos to get cos squared. The sine had to be multiplied by sine. And then again, our main rule, sine squared plus cos squared is 1. And we're left with the same thing on the right side. Okay, thanks for joining.